Hey buddies! Today we're going to create a natural riverbed style aquarium for a really neat nano fish. Let's dive right in. We are going to be using one of my 45p aquariums for this build. It is 45 by 30 by 30 centimeters and holds about 10 gallons or 38 liters of water. The light is a Chihiros A2, which will provide more than enough light for this low-tech tank. We are going to be using these unpolished river pebbles in a variety of colors and shapes for our substrate. However, if we try to plant directly into these pebbles, we're going to run into a few problems. The first one is that the stones do not have any nutrients to support plant growth. This is a quick fix though. We can simply add some fertilizer to the base of the substrate layer. We will also find it quite tricky to get even the smallest grain-sized pebbles to hold on to the tiny baby plant roots. We're going to need to mix in a smaller grain size to grip the plants more tightly while we plant, and to give the roots more to grab onto as they grow. Being the thrifty gals that we are, we will reuse some fine-grained brown aqua soil from a tank I recently broke down to create a more compacted substrate for planting. There's also some sand and red-toned pebbles in the mix, but that will blend in just fine. We are going to keep the smaller sized pebbles towards the front of the tank and use larger ones near the back of the tank to increase the perceived depth of the aquarium. We will also create a slope towards the back of the tank for this same reason. I originally bought 2 sticks to work with for this tank, but I'm thinking we should just use one of them for a simpler look and to keep plenty of the foreground clear for fish to swim around in. While the tank fills, we will use sewing thread to secure some Christmas moss to the hardscape. It looks a bit silly right now, but in a few weeks, the moss will have grown into the stick, and we can simply cut away the string. We will be using umbrella hairgrass as our background plant, keeping it more dense on the right-hand side to highlight the triangular composition. I was also able to get my hands on 2 small Taiwan lilies. These will eventually grow tall lily pads that will provide some shade for our small fish friends. Adding epiphytic plants like Buce to any aquarium is a breeze. I wedged some into cracks along the hardscape, wove some into the string to secure it until its roots can grow into the wood, and I used cyanoacrylate superglue to attach the rhizomes to small pebbles that I can easily move around as the tank grows in. We are going to place small crypt plants along where the hardscape meets the substrate. These plants do not like being moved, so the leaves will likely melt off in the next few weeks, but as long as the roots stay healthy, they will bounce back. These tiny little saucer-shaped pennyworts will mirror the shape of the lily pads, but will stay shorter and have a more deep green color. This is going to add even more interest to the aquascape. Finally, we are going to add a few sprigs of microsword that will help blend the planted areas into the rocky foreground. And here we are, about 2 weeks later. I haven't noticed any algae yet, which is great, but I have noticed some biofilm collecting on the stick and a couple of the plants. This is totally normal, and I've added some red cherry shrimp that will munch all that up in no time. few of the Crypt and Buce leaves have melted, which I expected, but they'll grow back in no time as the plants finish settling into the new tank. I've also added 8 celestial pearl danios. These tiny little guys only grow to about an inch in length but have so much personality. Their coloring also reminds me of river trout, which makes them the perfect fit for this nano river aquarium. I'm so excited to see how this aquarium grows in over the next few months. If you're interested in following along, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell button to receive notifications from Buce and Buddies. I'll see you in the next video.